If you haven't heard of the Home Depot girl, she is a young, beautiful woman who went viral for being pretty. I mean, she literally posted something on a whim as a joke, talking about how she oftentimes gets comments from men at Home Depot who say that she is too pretty to be working there. And evidently this created a firestorm on social media. I mean, she had DJ academics talking about her. There are major news sources. I mean, even Shaq slid in her DMs and started talking to her. I mean, she got a lot of attention over a random tweet that she did on a whim. Of course, she had a lot of admirers. She had a lot of men who thought she was quite beautiful. Had a lot of people who were hating on her. Women who were jealous, and then men who were also saying that she's probably being fake about this whole modesty thing. So she got a lot of pushback, which is quite normal and to be expected on social media. Nevertheless, the fact that this tweet was so important and got so much attention speaks to a couple of key lessons that I want to point out. First off, male heterosexuality hasn't changed. There's been this debate going on for decades about women being overqualified in the Black community, Black women specifically being overqualified, supposedly because of their education, supposedly because of money, whatever, just fill in the blank, because of their accomplishments, right? And what history continues to show time and time again is that men don't care about accomplishments. Case in point, you have a young woman working at Home Depot who doesn't have a college degree, doesn't have a higher education, and she goes viral and gets a ton of attention from men because she's pretty. No one was talking about her accomplishments. They weren't asking what school is she going to, what's her college degree, what's her GPA, how much money does she have in the bank. She's just fit, feminine, friendly. She's just pretty. And I'm like, these kinds of case scenarios time and time again show that even in this modern post-feminist society where we're trying to blend gender norms and trying to redefine what's normal, at the end of the day, men are still just men. Heterosexuality is what it is. And of course, I'm not saying all guys are the same, but men have generally been driven by looks and youth and what they perceive as femininity, and that hasn't changed. Even post body positivity, or even post feminism, even post changing the gender norms and whatever, like, men are just still men. And these situations, to me, I always scratch my head and I always laugh because I'm just like, you're not going to be able to fight with nature and biology. And this is still very hard for some people to accept, that heterosexual men and women are not attracted to the same things. Men are generally driven by looks first, and women generally are driven by accomplishments, a person's social status or perceived wealth, fill in the blank. They're different. And this tension, it exists today. It continues to exist today. Men continue to be called misogynist because they say they want a woman of a particular age or of a particular body type or whatever. But like I said, I mean, can we really fight with biology? Is this really a question of misogyny versus misandry or whatever? Or is it just men and women are hardwired to be attracted to certain things because of biology? So, you know, I think this is just one of those tensions that, quite frankly, will continue to exist. Secondly is women want attention. All of a sudden, after Home Depot girl went viral, now there's all these other beautiful women who just happen to work at Home Depot and just happen to be posting selfies of themselves. Why? Because they want to capitalize off of the attention that she got. And look, I get it. If you're an influencer, if you're a social media person, of course you want to capitalize off of trends. But we can be honest that, yes, there are a lot of women out there who just want attention. Or they just need the validation. Let's just call it what it is. Social media would not be what it was if it did not rely upon those of us out there who need attention and need that validation. There's a saying, men should be men and women should be women, that I know was probably considered super controversial today, but I see nothing wrong with it. And truthfully, we continue to see it in action, even in this post-modern society where we are consistently trying to break down gender norms and redefine everything. At the end of the day, there are moments in time where we see men being men and women being women. Men being driven by their biology, being attracted to what they perceive as beautiful, feminine, friendly, and women seeking attention from those men. Like, it's just, and the world goes around. This has been happening since the beginning of time, and it continues to happen. So this is just another classic case of men being men and women being women. But another thing I want to recognize, shout out first of all to Home Depot girl, aka Ariana Cosley, which is how I think you say her name. She actually does have a name. But I also loved that she did not use this opportunity to go pivot into being an OnlyFans model or being a Playboy. She actually posted a video a couple of days ago where she talked about how she got different people reaching out to her, saying that she should maybe post nudity, saying that she should go like the sex worker route. And she's like, no, I'm a Christ follower. That's not what I'm about. They also were trying to make us, they were also trying to read into the different conversations she had with Shaq, and she's like, no, he was not shooting a shot at me, he was just trying to be nice. And so she definitely seems like she is just trying to actually be wholesome and actually trying to be a Christ follower, which yes would mean that you are not selling your body and treating your body like a trash can, but you're going to treat it like a temple. So shout out to her for actually not selling out and not sending out her self-worth for just a quick buck. I think she definitely needs a round of applause for that. And I love to see it. I love to see young, beautiful women who are happy with who they are, who are happy in their femininity, and yet they are not selling their souls just for some quick attention, just for a quick dollar, which will eventually run out. And that leads me to my bigger point. Not all attention is positive attention. Yes, this girl got a lot of feedback. Yes, she went viral. She also had to quit her job. She also had a lot of people talking down about her. She got overwhelmed. So not all attention is good attention. And more importantly, these kinds of scenarios, instant fame, instant virality, it can break a person if they do not know who they are, if they do not have a solid sense of self, if they don't have a strong spiritual foundation, if they are not grounded, it can actually break a person. And I implore women, I encourage women to not look to social media for validation, to not look to social media for the male gaze, to not look to social media to try to make you feel good about yourself. If you have to post online just so that you can have somebody say that they like you or send you a DM or say, ooh girl, I like your hair or your makeup is pretty, if you need that to feel good about yourself, you probably need to get off of social media. You need to have a come to Jesus moment, literally, and cleanse your heart. Because let me tell you, social media, it will lead you down a rabbit hole fast. If you are not using it, it is using you. And I have found, especially more recently, that the only thing that satisfies me, it is not how popular a video does, it is not how viral the tweet goes, it is not even how much money I'm generating from a particular video or a particular campaign or whatever. It is only a relationship with God is the only thing that satisfies me. And then my real relationships, my real life relationships with my family, with my husband, with the people around me, that is what's meaningful. This stuff is a quick fix. It can become a drug just like any other thing. And if you are not using it for your own intended purposes, whether it be for business, maybe you're working on a campaign, maybe you're trying to get a particular message out there, if you're not using it, it is using you. So I always implore, especially young women, to make sure it has not become a coping mechanism and has not become the thing that you turn to make yourself feel better. Because if it is, then virality could actually be one of the worst things for you. And quite frankly, it could be a distraction. If that's you, get off of social media. Get off of social media. Have a come to Jesus moment. Seriously. Ask yourself what really matters. And let me tell you, this online thing is not it. So what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.